Favorite love songs that I wrote when I was like 17 or 18, back when I was a baby. There you go. My left brain is racing free, and ADD's been chasing me all day. What did you just say? I misplaced my master plan, courtesy of my attention span, but I'm gonna be okay. Cause no one's ever said it quite the same. I listen for it every day. You know, until it's you perfect timing, dancing on that silver line for me, so I can finally see that it's like a cool breeze blowing through my happy hair on a Pennsylvania afternoon when I'm with you. Can't imagine life without you. Could not make it on my own. Could write 1,000 lines. I've been with you feels like home. So when you offered me salvation, could I ever say no? I'll never find a greater beauty than the beauty that you're bringing to my soul. My soul. I always say that if people met Jamie Grace 10, 11, 12 years ago, you probably wouldn't believe that she was the same kid now. For starters, I was significantly shorter. And also way more awkward, if you can believe that. When I was 11 years old, I was sitting in my doctor's office and I heard her saying all these things to my mom that I didn't understand. She was saying Tourette syndrome, ADHD, OCD, anxiety. And if that wasn't enough, I remember her saying things like, there's no cure, we can't fix it, we're gonna try some medicine, try some tests, let's keep her here for a few days. I remember sitting there and being so frustrated and so confused. For the next 3 years, I would pray every single day for God to just make me better, to just make me like everyone else. I used to see all the girls in school and they just seemed like they had it all together, and I didn't understand why. I prayed so much and I worshiped the Lord all the time, and I sang in the choir, and I went to youth group, and I read my Bible, I did all the right stuff. Yet I would pray and say, God, why won't you fix me? And I felt like I didn't even hear a whisper. Something that I've come to find out in my 22 years is that we're all going to face stuff in life that we can't control. It's going to be really big stuff sometimes. And for me as a kid, that was Tourette syndrome. And to this day, I still face some challenges with my health with Tourette and some other stuff as well. For someone else, it may not be Tourette, but it may be Asperger's, diabetes, and cancer. All of that stuff is so big. It may be divorce that's going through your family, and that's big. It may be unemployment or deployment. It may be heartache or just a heartbreak. You may be feeling like you just don't fit in with the other girls in school. Maybe you just don't get invited everywhere else. Maybe your parents are raising you differently and you can't see it now. I'm sure it'll be great soon, but right now it just feels like you just don't fit in. We're all going to face something big in our lives. Some of us have it on our mind right now. But I've learned that no matter how big Tourette syndrome is, or no matter how big cancer, or divorce, or heartbreak, no matter how big any of those things are, we were created by a God who is much, much bigger than anything we will ever have to face here on this earth. He loves us, He cares about us, and He has a purpose and a plan for each and every one of our lives, even if we can't see what it is. You guys, I fully believe that God is my healer. But what I do know one thing. I know that He's my healer. But what I don't know is when that healing's going to come. I don't know if it's going to come tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to come when I get to heaven. But I do know that He is still a God of joy, a God of love, trust, faith, and hope. And I know that I can still worship Him and I can still have His joy even in the middle of the storm, even in the middle of the pain. I know that He still loves me, and I know He's never ever going to let me go. I may not yet have healing in my physical body, but when I was 12 years old, I cried to my father and I screamed and I yelled at him. And I said, "Dad, why won't God just take my life right now?" And 10 years later, I call my dad on the phone and I say, "Dad, I'm sorry I'm not going to see you for 2 weeks. I'm sorry I haven't heard you preach in a while. I'm sorry I can't hang out with you and Mom. But I've got to go tell these kids that there's a reason to live. I got to go tell these kids that there's something greater than what we see on this earth. I may not be healed in the physical, but I've been healed in more ways than I could ever imagine. And I know that there's nothing but Jesus. 'Cause your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never